I just got back to my hometown of Toronto after a tour of teaching private equity through boot camps, workshops, and masterclasses around the world. During the tour, not only did we share our private equity knowledge, but also we learned a lot about private equity in many different countries. In this video, we will share private equity insights that we learned from 5 different countries we visited on our world tour. We will start with Luxembourg, then Germany, then the Netherlands, then India, then Singapore, and we'll end this video with a final thought. So let's get started with Luxembourg. We spent our first full day in Luxembourg with the European Investment Fund, the EIF, which invests in private equity and venture capital funds across Europe. Thank you to Ben, Jose, Joaquin, and Bjorn for being such fantastic hosts. My colleague Christoph and I spent over 7 hours with the EIF team to dive deep into the European market. We talked about private equity, secondaries, and venture capital. Over the next few months, we'll be sharing quite a few insights from those meetings with the EIF. So please subscribe to our channel to be notified when those videos come out. After that, it was time to deliver our private equity bootcamp in collaboration with the CFA Society Luxembourg to investors, financial institutions, and service providers in Luxembourg. Thank you to Philippe, Pablo, Joanna, Valerie, and the rest of the CFA Society Luxembourg team for your hospitality. We enjoyed our time in Luxembourg. The main private equity insight to share about Luxembourg is on private equity structuring. Luxembourg's favorable legal and tax environment attracts private equity firms to have Luxembourg domiciled funds. While there are other tax environments that might be similar to Luxembourg in different parts of the world, investors like the fact that Luxembourg is an onshore EU jurisdiction. Because of this, there are quite a lot of private equity service providers in Luxembourg as well. Now let's move on to Germany. In Germany, we delivered our private equity bootcamp in Frankfurt in collaboration with the CFA Society Germany to family offices, financial institutions, service providers, and even reputable startups looking for funding. The attendees came in from all over Germany, including Berlin and Hamburg. Thank you to Susan, Tara, Sarah, and the rest of the CFA Society Germany team for welcoming us and being there for the event. It was fun to watch our participants negotiate during the interactive simulation. The main private equity insight to share about Germany is about the Mittelstand businesses, the family-owned companies that drive the economy in Germany. More and more of the families that own Mittelstand companies are looking to invest in other asset classes to diversify away the risk from their businesses. And what asset classes do you think they've been looking at recently? Well, private equity. Some of the families are looking to invest in funds, but many of the families, since they have operational expertise and industry connections, are looking to invest directly into private companies. Now let's move on to the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we delivered our private equity workshop in collaboration with 0100 Conferences at their flagship European conference in Amsterdam. The workshop was specifically for family offices across Europe, and there was an American family office from Boston and a Canadian family office from Toronto there as well. Thank you to Pavel, Anastasia, Julio, and the rest of the 0100 Conferences team for making that event go so smoothly. The main private equity insight to share about the Netherlands is how technology is helping private equity investors better track their investments. During my time in Amsterdam, I met with quite a few technology consultants and software companies that are looking to make all areas of private equity more efficient with technology. There is software that helps large investors manage their fund investments, such as eFront, and there are all types of technology providers that are helping investors track specific ESG metrics. It really made me think about what new software can help the private equity industry in the future. Now let's move on to India. In India, we delivered 2 separate private equity boot camps in collaboration with the CFA Society India and the London Stock Exchange Group. One was in Mumbai and the other was in Bangalore. In Mumbai, we presented to investors, financial institutions, and service providers that asked many thought-provoking questions. Thank you to Anlin, Shamit, and the rest of the CFA Society India team in Mumbai, as well as Deepak and his team at the London Stock Exchange Group, not only for being great hosts, but also for taking me for a night out in Mumbai and showing me the Gateway to India, Taj Hotel, Marine Drive, and other fantastic places in the city. The main private equity insight from Mumbai was on India's attractiveness to investors, as well as the international investors that the country has been attracting. I spent some time at One BKC when I was in Mumbai. BKC stands for Bandra Kurla Complex, which is the iconic office building that Blackstone bought in 2019. Brookfield has an India-focused REIT called the Brookfield India Real Estate Trust that has over 14 million square feet of office space. And GIC has made many private equity investments in India, including its investment in CRED, which we talked about in our video titled GIC Private Equity Direct Investing. Please check out that video to learn more about that. India has a population of over 1.4 billion people, which have an average age of under 30 years old. And India's GDP is growing quickly, both on an absolute and a per capita basis. India also has a unique world-leading instant payment system that works across the country. It's called UPI, and we'll talk about it later in this video. In Bangalore, we presented to investors, financial institutions, and service providers that had a lot of experience and were open to sharing their experiences with each other. Thank you to Jefferson, Sandeep, and the rest of the CFA India team in Bangalore, as well as Deepak, who flew down from Mumbai for the event, Vishnu, Srilata, and the rest of the team from the London Stock Exchange Group in Bangalore. Also, I really appreciate you taking me for that incredible dosa in Bangalore. I've never tasted anything like it. The main private equity insight from Bangalore was experiencing UPI that I talked about earlier. Let me explain. I stayed a little longer in Bangalore and my family friend took me around the city. I remember stopping on the side of the road for some excellent, freshly made sugarcane juice. When it was time to pay, the vendor just showed us a Paytm QR code, and within seconds, the transaction was finished. After that, we parked the car, and my friend paid the vendor by getting his phone number and transferring him the money. You see, in India, most people don't use credit cards and debit cards. They use something called UPI to make payments. UPI stands for Unified Payments Interface, which allows for immediate money transfer through mobile devices, through your phone, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This was introduced by the National Payments Corporation of India for public use back in 2016 and is now used by over 250 million users across the country. Wow. So let's move on to Singapore. In Singapore, we delivered an event in collaboration with CFA Society Singapore titled How Family Offices Can Excel in Private Equity and Venture Capital Fund Investing. This event was specifically for family offices, but we also had a few other investors, private equity firms, and other professionals as well. Thank you to CT, Fiona, Francis, and the rest of the CFA Society Singapore team for hosting us. it was a pleasure to work with you. The main private equity insight from Singapore was that due to the favorable legal and tax implication for family offices, as well as the political tensions in other areas, the number of family offices in Singapore has been growing rapidly. Also, thanks to Yin Wang, an assistant professor from SMU, for giving me an inside look at the Singapore Management University campus. It has such an amazing, big, nice campus right in the middle of the city. Thanks, Yin. Now, here's a final thought. If you have been following our videos, you know that our goal as Mink Learning is to be the global thought leader in private equity. We will continue to travel around the world to teach private equity, but also to continuously learn more about the world of private equity in North America, Europe, Asia, and beyond. If you are interested in attending our live in-person bootcamp, please email us at info@minklearning.com to let us know what country you're in, and we'll keep you updated when we're nearby. We'll be traveling around the world again soon. In this video, we talked about private equity insights from our recent world tour. We shared insights from 5 countries: Luxembourg, Germany, the Netherlands, India, and Singapore. Want us to let you know when we are in your region to teach private equity? Please let us know where you are in the comments below.